Hello and welcome back to the Internal Library Meditation Series. If you'd like to skip this introduction, the meditation will start at the 1-minute mark. Locate yourself somewhere where you're unlikely to be disturbed, and when you hear the bell, the practice has begun. You'll hear today's consideration, followed by long periods of silence, during which time I'll occasionally check in to remind you of the practice. I'll let you know when we've reached the final minute, and when you hear the bell for the second time, the practice has ended. As always, these meditations are free for everyone. I don't ever want a lack of money to stand in anyone's way of their cultivation of focus, presence, and peace. But if you do feel called to make a contribution in some way, you can find PayPal and VenMo links in the description of this video. All donations are greatly appreciated. And now, on with the practice. All at once, arrive here, arrive now. Arrive internally, and arrive externally. And notice what's come in with you this morning. I like to think of it like the leaves that have blown in with you through your front door. Your mood, your thoughts, your feelings. Take note of what these are. And now let them float away and come into this chosen space. For today's practice, I'd like to present to you a fascinating feature of our vision that many people don't know about. I first learned about this from Stanford neuroscientist Andrew Huberman. According to Huberman, our visual system may be the strongest lever by which we can shift our mind and our body. You see, your eyes are actually protruding parts of your brain. They are the only parts of your brain that are outside the cranial vault. And much like how our ears are responsible not just for hearing, but also balance due to our vestibular system, our eyes, in addition to detecting light, also have another role. Our eyes convey information to the brain so that it can ramp up attention and become alert, or so that it can ease attention and become relaxed. The most straightforward way that it does this is via sunlight. Time of the day, communicated through the eyes, helps the brain and the rest of the body know what to do and when to do it. This process tunes our circadian rhythm. One fascinating way this happens, which will be relevant to our exercise today, is that when the body and the mind are relaxed, the eyes will literally change shape, and our vision will become wider and more panoramic. On the other hand, when we are highly alert or stressed in some way, the eye changes shape in the other direction, and we develop a sort of tunnel vision. Tying this back to breath, we know, and we often experience, changes in our breath that correspond to our emotional state. Our eyes and our vision are just like this. And since we can deliberately change our breathing to affect our emotional state, can we change our vision to achieve that same effect? The answer is yes, we can. So, how can we use this as a tool for meditation? Here's how. Go ahead and sit up comfortably tall. Let your eyes be open. This works much better in a well-lit room. And if you're not just about to go to bed. Now, as you sit there, let your eyes gaze forward and land on a spot in front of you. Ideally, this spot is rather uninteresting and bland. No words, no images, just something plain, like a dot on the wall, the corner or edge of some object. Let your eyes land there, blinking a little less than normal, but you can still blink. Just keep that gaze fixed on that spot. Watch closely. First, let's really lean into that narrowing of vision. Look at that spot closely. Notice as fine of details as you can there, like you're trying to read text in a one-point font. Let your gaze intensify a little more. Notice if you're maybe feeling some corresponding changes in the musculature around your eyes. Do you feel some tension there? Do you feel some heat there? Are you tempted to lean forward? This is all part of the focusing system, our sympathetic nervous system. Now, we'll go wider. Without changing your position in any way or moving your eyes elsewhere, keep looking at this spot. But this time, let your view go wide. And even wider. With eyes still, see through your peripherals all around you. Up, down, left, right, the diagonals, and of course, the spot right in front of you. As you continue to stare at it. What changes might you be noticing now? You feel a relaxation in the muscles around your eyes. You feel the inclination to lean back, to be easier in your posture. And how is your mind affected? This is all part of the relaxation system, our parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, now let's spend a minute or two alternating between the two. Go ahead and close your eyes briefly. Take a deep breath. Reset. And now, open your eyes again. Find a different point out in front of you, just to change it up. And gaze upon it deeply. Really focus in. Constrain your view, like you're trying to see text on that dot. Don't strain, but lean in. Notice how it feels to be really focused. And then, like before, relax a little. Widen the view. Make it really wide, as far as you can. See all around you without moving your eyes off of that spot. How does that feel? If it seems subtle, don't worry. With practice, this can be just as effective as breath work. Let's move through again, still looking at that same spot. Focus in, narrow in, see this spot clearly and closely. Notice what happens. And then widen out. Let in the peripherals. And see the whole sphere of your visual field. Notice what happens now. Do it a couple more times on your own, focusing in and then focusing out. Carry on and notice what happens. And now, let that all go. Close the eyes. Sit back. Take a few deep breaths in and a few longer breaths out. Drop the exercise. Drop the practice. Give yourself a moment of real rest. And when you're ready, come back, re-engage, reopen your eyes if you wish. Start to anticipate the end of this practice. As you do, I'd like to leave you with an interesting question to consider. Maybe now, maybe another time. When is it that you tend to widen your field of view? Where are you when you do this? What are you doing there? How do you feel there? And conversely, when is it that you tend to contract your field of view? Where's that? What are you doing? How do you feel while there? Neither function is better than the other, they just serve different functions. Just like learning to notice when your breath changes, you can learn to notice when your eyes change, when your vision changes. Perhaps this can serve you in those moments when you'd really like to focus. And, just as crucially, in those moments when you'd really like to settle down. Thank you once again for taking time to cultivate your focus, your presence, and your peace, both for yourself and for the rest of us. Take care, and I'll see you next time.